The most recent episode of Rick and Morty aired last night. I want to start off by saying there are going to be spoilers in this, so don't watch it if you don't want to ruin the show, but more than likely you won't see that. But yeah, spoilers ahead. This was a very interesting episode, mainly because of Rick. So, where do I begin? There are three subplots at play here. Rick and Tony, I believe was the name of the guy, the alien. Beth and Summer and Morty and Jerry. I keep forgetting Jerry's name. So let me start with the most important thing. It really seems like Rick is honest and truly a good guy, right? He doesn't just want to kill everybody. He doesn't want to do it. He's very emotional, but he doesn't know how to deal with his emotions. I think that's the thing with this guy. I'm not somebody who has dissected all the episodes from the previous seasons. So, I'm just giving my thoughts on this, on Rick. Now, what was so interesting for me was the fact that Rick didn't kill the guy. Like, everything was leading up to him killing Tony, but he didn't. Right? Didn't. There's so many things that were interesting here. Mainly the fact that, I think Rick is a tsundere. Like, that's what you'd call him, right? So a tsundere is a Japanese character who they're very defensive and aggressive with people that they like or people that are friendly to them. But deep down, they're good people. They actually like the people that are around them, but they don't show it as well as normal people would. So I think Rick is a tsundere. That's the closest character trope that I can see for him, besides the genius, right? Realize that Tony had a wife that died. And that's where the empathy came in, right? So instead of killing Tony, he just gave him the middle finger with a very weird device. It's kind of gross for me, but that's what it is. But what was cool was that Tony went back to the toilet. For those of you that watched the episode, you know what's happening. You should have watched the episode before you came here, alright? Don't come here if you never watched the episode. Don't do that. Watch the episode first. So Tony went back to the toilet, right? And I think he did it to meet Rick again because he knew that Rick would be waiting for him. But what ended up happening was Rick put him in a sleep stasis where he can have the happiest dream that he could ever wish for. Until he dies, or for the end of eternity. But what's interesting here is that Rick has many people under these, in this dreams, happiness, factory, I don't know, a bunker, like the dream bunker, right? So he has thousands, hundreds of thousands, I don't know how many people. He has, many people strung up with a chemical. I don't remember the name of the chemical, but basically it's a chemical that connects the two different parts of the brain. One being the things that you have and the things that you want, or the things that make you happy, and it connects those. And you can have a happy dream for the rest of eternity. But what's interesting here is the fact that Rick has so many people under this happiness dream, but he's not gonna kill him. So basically, he's kidnapped all these people and gave them the best gift of life, which is a happy life. But he's also taken up the duty of being their steward and keeping them protected and alive. Even though, they're in a dream state, he's keeping them protected and happy. What was so cool was in that scene where Tony was about to die when he twisted himself in the tube, Rick immediately got a notification, teleported in and saved them. So Rick does not want him to die. Clearly doesn't want him. Dude, this guy, he's really not equipped to deal with his emotions. Because he could have just talked to Tony. Could have just talked to him and that would have been enough. Tony could have lived his normal life and Rick could have just, visit him from time to time. It's like a normal friend, but Rick can't do that. I don't know if he can or he just doesn't want to or what, I don't know. But he's overcomplicating a simple friendship. It doesn't need to be anything more than, hi, how's it going? We sit, we chat, that's it. But no, he couldn't do that. He just couldn't do that. And no matter how smart somebody is, they can still have deficiencies. And for Rick, it's his management of his emotions. Because he was legit angry at the guy for being nice at him. You don't really expect somebody as smart as Rick to behave like that. But, it's a character trait that you see in real life. A lot of really intelligent people they don't do well with compliments, right? It's not something that they're used to. But Rick is a very sad person, because at the end of this episode, he was gonna give Tony the toilet. He was gonna give him the toilet and the entire planet. But he pranked him. He created like a series of like hologram Ricks to like make fun of Tony while he's on the toilet. I should have started off with this, but what Rick did was he booby trapped the toilet, and I thought that he was gonna kill Tony. That's what I thought. If Tony went back to the toilet and used it, he would have died. But that's not the case. When Tony went and used the toilet, he would be greeted by a giant, pair of laser cannons. But they weren't actually cannons, they were speakers. And then there would be a pre-recorded message by Rick making fun of him for using the toilet. And also, in the message telling him that he gets to use this toilet whenever he wants for forever, right? He can just use the toilet. So Rick was ready to give him the toilet. What was interesting was the one line where one of the hologram Ricks said, "Look at you, you're the saddest guy in the universe." Something to that effect. But, shoot, I messed up. Yeah, I messed up. Yeah, so, I missed something here. I missed something. So, Rick went back to the guy's planet to trick him into coming back and using the toilet. But what he finds is that the guy actually died, right? He died in a car accident after meeting Rick and realizing, he should be doing more happy things with his life. Rick, didn't take that well. He went back and he sat on the toilet, and when he sat on the toilet, that's when the prank activated. And that's when the line popped up saying, that's when the AI popped up with a sad Rick on the toilet. It was such a sad scene, and it shows how lonely he is, right? When Rick sat on the toilet, sad that his new friend died, and he realized, you realize that, how would I say this? Rick is lonely, right? Extremely lonely. When he finally found another friend after the Birdman died, like Birdman died in the last season or season 2. I don't remember if it's season 3 or season 2 that he died. But that was like one of his only friends that he has in the universe. And he had the opportunity to make another one. But instead of, making that friend, his friend died. And that was here's what's sad, right? Rick knows that he's sad. The hologram telling him that he's the saddest man in the universe, it tells you, the viewer, that he's sad, right? And he feels very, very strongly about his sadness. I'm thinking that Rick is thinking is that if he had forced this guy to stay in the dream state, the guy would still be alive and living the best dream ever. So when Rick gave him his freedom with the teleporter gun, he allowed him to do something stupid and get himself killed. That's a weird position to put yourself, to be in, right? Rick could have saved him and kept him protected if he had stayed in the dream state. But because Rick allowed him to leave, he died. So is it that he lost his friend because of his, it could be that he lost his friend because of his actions. Because if he had just talked to the guy, maybe it wouldn't have ended like this. Another thing that was good was the fact that at Tony's funeral, Rick went to his father and gave him $8 billion in that alien planet's currency. And also, he gave his dad a cloning kit to clone Tony. Oh. Yeah, so this episode was less about, Rick being a douchebag. Well, he was, because he killed a lot of people, but it also shows you his nice side in the fact that he has an unknown amount of people who he's taking care of and keeping alive and having them live in the happiest dream that they could ever live in. And the thing is, all of them were in the red. All of them were encased in like a red, in a clear bag with a red colored chemical. I don't remember the name of the chemical. It was green or something. I don't remember. But what was good there is that it really seems that all of those people are under a happy dream and not a nightmare. There weren't any other colors, so I wouldn't assume it to be anything else. Yeah, but that like Rick's story was the one that took the cake here, because the man is ridiculously sad. He can't make a friend. When he finally makes a friend, he's not capable of like connecting with them. So instead he gives them something that they could never get. He gives them some gift that they could never get in real life. And then he just leaves them. Like, I don't know if he was going to give the guy the toilet and then continue talking to him, or if he would have, just gave him the toilet and left. But it's really a sad turn of events for Rick at the end of the episode. Moving on to the subplot for, let's go with Morty and Jerry. Like, Jerry really isn't learning anything. He's not developing. He's just stupid for stupid's sake. And no matter how many different things happen to him, he doesn't learn his lesson. And it's gotten to the point where Morty's really just tired of the guy. Like, Morty does not respect Jerry at all. And you can see, like, Morty's lack of respect for Jerry is making Jerry more sensitive to that and putting himself in worse situations to try and impress Morty. But he's just too stupid. Whenever I think that, Jerry's getting maybe a little bit more conscious and thinking about his actions, no, he does something so stupid. The alien had a stamp on his forehead saying, "Do not help me build the app. Don't build the app with me." And Jerry just did it. There was no hesitation. There was nothing, no conflicting moral dilemma. No, he didn't think about it. He just did it. Because of that, that put Summer in a bad situation. This is the third part where the app allows individuals to meet their soulmate. It's a commentary on people who use dating apps nowadays. But what I'm thinking about is the fact that all of these people were willing to change their sexuality to work within the gender, to work with the app, right? So let's say you sign up to the app, you're a female and you're heterosexual, but the app assigns you another female as your soulmate. You're gonna immediately become homosexual to be with that female, to be that other female. And that was kind of weird to me because it really seems like the agency of the person just went out the window. So I don't know if they're trying to say that, people are really stupid or people are really gullible and they'll just go with whatever the almighty algorithm tells them to go with, or it's just, exaggeration for comedic purposes. I think it's a balance of the two. But what was interesting was the fact that the soulmate continuously changed in a very short period of time. But the reason for that is because the app is rigged to keep humans busy trying to find their soulmate instead of focusing on, keeping their water protected. Because that's the main plot. The alien that built the app wants to take the Earth's water. That's weird because why would an alien species that can travel through, well, I don't know if it's space and time, but they can travel through space. Why would they come to Earth specifically for our water? Like, there are infinite planets in the universe. Go to a planet that already has water. Just do that. Go to an uninhabited planet with water. And maybe you'll have to purify it, but that's a lot better than, having to deal with an intelligent species and try to get the water from them. Especially with the fact that this is Rick's planet. I don't know if they know Rick. They probably do. But you should know not to travel with Rick. Like, why would you go to his planet of all planets? Right? So that part didn't really work out to me. With these kinds, with Rick and Morty, there's always like an Easter egg or something. I don't have the memory to remember all of these different Easter eggs and assign them to the series. Because, I was reading on Reddit where the name of this episode was The Man and the Seat is apparently, something related to the book, The Man and the Sea. I've never read that book. I saw it on YouTube. Yeah, because I was reading Reddit and watching some one YouTube video about the series. It was I forgot the name of the channel. God bless. But yeah, there are a lot of Easter eggs that you could pick up on in this episode, so you can go ahead and search for them. Overall, it was pretty fun. Rick is so sad. So sad. Oh, another thing was interesting was Beth and Summer. It really shows you how Beth is really trying her best as a mom, right? But comparatively to Jerry, Jerry's doing nothing. He's got nothing. And she was willing, like, she used the app and Jerry used the app, right? Jerry used the app, he didn't have a match. Beth used the app and she had a match. But she chose to stay with Jerry. but I'm trying to, there's something off here. There's something off there with the app. And all right, so for everyone else, when they use the app, it immediately overrode their ability to use logic and discern that, hey, going after this person might not be the right thing to do. Like there was no impulse control. So I think maybe the app reduces your ability to control yourself, and just, I think it manipulates you in some way to go after the soulmate that you've been assigned. It did not work on Jerry and the alien who did not have soulmates. And it didn't work on Beth, who did have a soulmate, but she chose Jerry. So I think there's something up with Beth. Beth might be a clone. There was something about her being a clone from the last series. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't remember it clearly. But I think there's something up with Beth, because every other human that used this app, if they had a soulmate, they went after them, no questions asked, except Beth. Because there was a family at the food court with Beth and Summer, and they were married. I think they were married, and they had a baby, and they were willing to leave the baby to go find their soulmate. But Beth didn't do it. I think there's something up with Beth. I don't think she's 100% human. She might be a clone, but this is just based off, the app not working on her as it did with everyone else. Granted, it didn't work on Jerry because he doesn't have a soulmate, so there's no one to assign him to. But that's kind of weird. Why doesn't Jerry have a soulmate? And why doesn't the alien species, they don't get a soulmate? But it could be because the app was specifically developed to work with humans and not that alien species. There's a lot of things that are, bringing up questions for me. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking too much about it. But yeah, it was a great episode. If you watched it, let me know what you think about Beth. Is she a clone, or is she like just immune to this kind of thing? I don't know. Alright, but I'm gonna try and put out an episode of this little mini series for all of the Rick and Morty episodes. We got about I think we have 3 more until there's a break, and then it will Rick and Morty will resume next year, January or February. But that's pretty annoying that instead of getting all the episodes at once, we're getting 1 episode per week. So, it is what it is. But thanks for watching. Have a nice day.